Illuminaughtii, do you know who that is? She's someone we covered recently in a video on my channel, a very deep, dark dive into the horrifying world of YouTube's most hated creator. One of them, at least. Not the most hated creator, but one of them for sure. Everyone hates, look at all these videos. Holy shit, what the f? Oh my god! Illuminaughtii is back in the news again, and this behind the doors of a courthouse. She likes suing people. That's something that is well known. She's a litigious person, and in my last video on the Illuminaughtii situation, I talked about how she was suing Oz Media, her ex-boyfriend. It's looking more and more like it's going to become a legal showdown between Oz and Blair. So Oz launched a GoFundMe. I'll have a link down below if you guys want to go support that. It's going to help him with legal fees, and he'll be using anything past the legal fees to help secure a living situation. And today we find out that things just keep getting worse for the Illuminaughtii. All right, the secret world organization that JFK warned us about in his speech about secret societies and powers around them. Just kidding, that was communism.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
Hey, Sour.gg! Go to Sour.gg. We have a lot of bags of Rainbow in stock. We've ramped up production. Go buy Rainbow SOURBOYS at Sour.gg. A brand new flavor. Grape and lime, my friend, Somewhere Near Gamers, aka Mudahar. It's delicious. It's the first sour grape and lime candy that has ever existed. Mango, upgraded mango. This is similar to our old mango, but imagine the old stuff, but better. Okay? We're very limited in this supply. Boom. Someone gets that when I touched it. Are these just like trash or something?
I have no idea.
Okay, there's a bunch of strawberry in here. See this? We've been sold out of strawberry. The first, that looks like about 80 bags, maybe, right? Say 50. Sure. We'll cut it low. First 50 orders, Sour.gg tomorrow when my video goes live, get a free bag of strawberry SOURBOYS. Isn't that right, Clint?
You heard it here
That's
first.
his idea. It's his idea, though.
My idea.
Also, check this out.
Candy this whole time.
Check this out. When Meat Canyon came, he drew this. After the lion's share of the Illuminaughtii situation unfolded over the last couple months, with us learning her evil ways of controlling her colleagues, friends, and even her ex-boyfriend and their relationship, Blair would abuse Oz not only emotionally, but financially. She would lash out and yell him, call him a bad friend, and then throw other accusations at him that had little to nothing to do with him. This terrible stuff caused him and a couple others to leave, and then she would drag their names through the mud on Reddit and Twitter. And conveniently enough, classic internet style, when people questioned Blair, hey, maybe you're the problem. What did Click? She would show those people who were questioning a video of Click that was problematic, that he's apologized for many times. She decided to throw all these people into the legal system with a bunch of lawsuits. She has filed not only one lawsuit against Oz Media, her ex-boyfriend, but also one against Wonderstruck and Felix the Kit Kat. And with the help of friend of the channel, Mad Catster.
Hey there, I'm the Mad Catster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, the Illuminaughtii drama has taken another turn.
I know there's been a few Mad Catster videos this week, but I'm sold. I'm in on this shit. We'll be going a little bit in depth in this legal jargon, this legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer. I need to make that very clear, but I'm going to do my best to understand exactly what's really going down in this. And I implore you to do the same. And guys, we're going to have this be a learning experience for the both of us. Now let's hug. Hopefully there's no boogers in my nose. That'd be embarrassing. According to this court document, we gathered legally. All right, we apprehended it from our good friend of the show, Mad Catster. I was sort of alluding to it being some kind of nefarious thing, like I'm a Mike Ehrmantraut type character, but I'm not. I just got an email from a really nice lawyer guy, and he sent it to me. According to this epic court document, Blair has filed this due to a breach of contract to the Declaration of Rights and specific performances related to the prior employment of the defendant. AKA, Blair says the three people we talked about earlier, Oz, Wonderstruck, and Felix the Kit Kat, breached her contract while working for her. This seems to be a confidentiality agreement, maybe an NDA, something along those lines. As we can see from the document, the three defendants, Oz, Wonder, and Felix, all are said to have had to sign this confidentiality agreement in 2021 to begin working for Blair to undergo employment. It is a condition of said employment. The confidentiality agreement states that it was to protect the company's information. It's just a standard NDA. You sign it, and you can't really talk about what you're doing for the company to protect the company. You have to keep everything in regard to employment under wraps. It's very common for creative type endeavors, but not really for making YouTube videos, it seems like. Although I do have my editor sign NDAs. But that's because sometimes Daddy says things he's not supposed to. But honestly, if someone breached it, I wouldn't really care. I'd be like, all right, yeah, anyway, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have said that. Would I sue him in court? Absolutely. Now, to go back a little bit to set up some context for all this, in May of 2020, Blair and Oz began a romantic relationship, and then Blair moved into Oz's home in January of 2021. In September of 2021, Blair hired Oz to be the project manager of her epic Illuminaughtii company. And finally, in December of 2021, Blair ended their romantic relationship with Oz and moved out of his home, purchasing and moving into her own. You can see this on the court document. Check this out. Isn't that fucking crazy? In June of 2023, the defendants were sent cease and desist letters from Blair. This was all due to them creating their own videos talking about their experiences with Blair, working with her, which is defamatory in nature, according to Blair, and also violates the confidentiality agreement that was signed in order to be employed, which that is true. I don't know if it's defamatory in nature, but it definitely does violate the confidentiality agreement. The only things that cannot be compelled to keep secret are like illegal things, as far as I'm aware, but I'm not a lawyer. In regard to this part, Mad Catster says that the person who uploaded the video was neither Oz or anyone else, but someone completely irrelevant to the lawsuit, so he redacted it. But Blair alleges that they intended to create another video about her in defamatory nature.
A defamatory video titled "The Fall of Illuminaughtii, YouTube's Biggest Bully" was posted about plaintiffs. The video was published by, and it's not by either Oz or Wonder or Felix, it's by another person, and I've redacted their name because they're not a party to the lawsuit. And it says, in that video, defendants speak publicly about their intent to publish another defamatory video about Blair.
The document also goes through the situation with the car that Blair had given to Wonder. Remember that? Remember that from the last video? Yeah. One of the uses of Oz's credit was to purchase a car, which he co-signed on.
Why these obligations were placed onto me? At the time, Blair had bad credit, so all of the purchases, loans, everything was being placed in my name. This included the car that she purchased, then revoked from Wonderstruck.
There's specifics about going to go get the car from Wonder with a spare key. If you want to see more about that, go to Mad Catster's video. He provided me with all this epic information, so go please subscribe to him.
She's repossessing the car in the middle of the night, mind you, off private property, when he isn't even in default of the agreement she just made him sign. I think there's a problem there.
The most important part of this document states that Wonder had made a video stating that Blair stole the car and committed wage theft, when in reality, she stated that she deducted taxes out of his earnings. It's really funny because Wonder never claimed she stole the car. He said that she repossessed it, and also he didn't accuse her of wage theft. Not that I can find, at least. She sent the cease and desist to Wonder. He created a GoFundMe to help pay for legal fees, and that's mentioned in the document here. And now we're on to the Felix the Kit Kat portion of the doc. What could he have done to make Blair mad? It's not that hard, it seems. Well, he shared private messages between Blair and himself and gave them to a YouTuber to slander and exploit her. I don't... Yeah, videos are just made to slander plaintiffs. Yeah, that's exactly correct. The private messages you may remember from the last video are of Blair asking Phoenix to find slanderous messages of this fella Click, saying a slur and paying Felix $200 to do it. She paid someone to dig through Click's old content to find him saying the R slur. Look at this.
I need you to work with to help me find Click saying the R slur in Sad Milk's raw audio.
I can do that. Let me get a shower and I'll be down.
She claims he said it in a Sad Milk video, but he can't remember which one. And she's over her head with shit. I'll pay you $200 to find it.
Because she's trying to cancel this guy and ruin his life and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, dude. So the private DM between Felix and Blair that was originally used to try and ruin Click's reputation is now being used against Blair to ruin her reputation, and she's angry about that, and that's slanderous, it seems. Now, what's epic that Mad Catster pointed out is if you look at the date of the messages, Felix wasn't even under the employment of Blair at this point.
Here's the important part on this. Look at the date on these. November 10th, 2020. Now, why is that significant? Because he didn't go to work for her until 2021. She's alleging that his confidentiality agreement, which was created in 2021, somehow retroactively covers personal communications between the two of them a year before.
Very good. Very nice. I like it. Keep it up. This is good content. The court document basically claims that Felix specifically edited and picked messages to create the appearance that Blair made a statement that she did not make. To me, it does not look edited, and I don't know why we don't... There's no reason to not trust Felix. This all makes fucking sense. Who knows? It really, at the end of the day, looks like she paid someone to find a slur that someone else said when they were a teenager to drag their name through the mud because their feelings were hurt. To me, Blair is just mad and is shooting in all directions, even at her own foot, because she's suing people over shit that makes no fucking sense at all. This is embarrassing, but it gets far worse. It gets way more juicy. There's a claim of relief. Do you know what that is? Because I didn't before this video.
The defense of failure to state a claim is rooted in Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 8A2, which requires that the complaint contain a short and plain statement of the claim, showing that the pleader is entitled to relief. If the complaint does not do this, then it fails to state a claim.
So the first claim was from the breach of contract, which forbade anyone from using confidential information. Everyone who signed the agreement, the confidentiality agreement, back in 2021. I don't know how any of this stuff is confidential information. They talked about being mistreated, and that is not like secrets of the channel or secrets of the business, and I don't see how that could ever be used. NDAs are weak, right? They're weak. They're not these magic things that prevent people from just saying shit if you're a bad person and you're abusing people. They don't work like that. In sort of standard NDA, the agreements that they signed were apparently indefinite. You can't share any of the information, company-related information from this point or on for the rest of time into infinity. I don't know how that shit's gonna hold up in court. We'll see. After this part, we then understand why it was worded in that way in the paragraph below, which states, upon belief, the defendants are in breach of these agreements by using confidential business information to defame or harm the plaintiff, which is Blair. Then defendants further establish their intent to post additional content that will harm the plaintiff in a devastating manner. She's saying they're bad people and they're breaking the NDAs so they can defame and harm her. And it does, like, what? She's mad they're using confidential business information to defame and harm her. It's personal experiences and screenshots that were like behind the scenes, and they're counting that towards the confidentiality agreement, which is definitely not true or covered by the agreement, in my professional opinion. All right, you can call me Paul Goodman. And of course, to finish off this epic claim, Blair states that she has incurred many damages: loss of revenue, future loss of revenue, pain and suffering, and also attorney fees. Oh God. Now, the second claim, basically just defamation, focuses on the defendants publishing or trying to publish false statements and shit, saying that Blair committed various acts, including abuse of her employees, wage theft, vehicular theft, and other things that are bad and wrong, aka it's a legal word, so try to keep up. Badong. We've already seen that they didn't really say that. They didn't word it in those ways. It's sort of cut and dry, I think. Not even really sort of. It's literally cut and dry. We have videos to show. It's not really that open to interpretation. It's just wrong, it seems. The plaintiff claims the defendants were acting with actual malice when they made these statements, knowing that they were false. That's what defamation is. You say something that you know is false and you say it anyways, or you recklessly disregard whether or not the statements you are about to publish and make are true or false. The claim then states that the viewers, readers, or listeners of these defamatory statements likely understood them as being true, so they were manipulated and lied to, all to defame this beautiful, beautiful, talented woman. It just gets worse, dude. It just fucking keeps getting worse. There's evidence of them, at the very minimum, being partially true. There's zero chance that this is all lies and deceit. You can just fucking watch the videos. Go look at the videos. There's evidence and proof and messages, and like, bro, come on. Yeah. Or you could just be Blair and think that everything negative ever said about you is just defamatory and is a lie completely and is not true, and just live in a small bubble and be an absolute insane person. I'm not sure. I'm no expert, but there seems to be a reasonable amount of deceit and lies from her end of the stick. The document then goes on to say that all of these defamatory statements will cause special damages to this beautiful professional media personality known as Blair, and it will be as a direct and proximate result of these lies and deceit. Oh, What assholes. If only someone would save her. Of course, this is all bullshit. You can't just make someone never talk about bad shit you did to them. That just isn't how it works. So the third and final claim of relief from Blair is another defamation-related claim. It states that the defamatory nature of these publications were apparent on the face because they allege the commission of criminal offenses and allegations which are incompatible with Blair's business, trade, profession, or office. So essentially, because she's not a professional criminal, everything that they said about the vehicle theft is not true because she's not a professional criminal. It's like The Sims in real life. I don't think a criminal is a job, to be honest. I don't think it's a profession or trade or office, to be fucking clear. This is ridiculous. And then a prayer for relief. Big ups to the guy upstairs. Thank you, Jesus. This pretty much asks the court to take her side, and that because what's happened, the defendants should have to pay her fees and any other relief that she deems reasonable and necessary. Which, if she does win by some miracle, this will not be reasonable or necessary. This is insane. So basically, wild stuff going on out there in the courts in whatever fucking communist country this takes place in. So what do you think the creators who have been given these cease and desist feel about this? Well, Oz made a post on the 12th of December, just a few days ago, a supposedly lawyer-approved post stating,
Lawyer-approved tweet. I am currently being sued by Blair, also known as the Illuminaughtii, as well as her company, Pyramid Entertainment Group LLC, for defamation. This lawsuit was filed 1 week after Blair had pushed me into foreclosure proceedings in August, and has been something I've needed to fight behind the scenes alongside the foreclosure. More info to come. This has been ongoing since late August and early September. So in other words, while I had to fight for my home being foreclosed on, I've also had the equal stress of this hanging over my head. That's gotta fucking suck. But brother, you got the internet rallying around you. Don't you worry too much about it. You'll be all right. The burden of proof's gonna set you free. All right, buddy? The court of law, it is just. All right? We got real good lawyers out here, I think. Maybe, probably, hopefully not. Fuck, dude. Look at my lawyer, dog. I'm going to fucking jail. Click, who was one of the victims of Blair, responded to the tweet with this. This is the guy that Blair allegedly paid Kit Kat to go find the slurs from. You look like a poop. She could have just retired or apologized or rebranded with a new VA, but I don't think she actually believes she did anything wrong, even to this day. Yeah, it seems like not. That is so crazy, dude. It is wild that this is reality. Felix the Kit Kat made a post back on the 23rd of November showing the suit. My former employer, Illuminaughtii, is retaliating against me for things I've said and done after my employment ended. She had falsely claimed to have served me papers and is trying to force a default judgment. Any help would be greatly appreciated. She claims to have had served me papers to an old address I haven't lived at in 9 years. It's hours away from where I currently live, and at the alleged time of service, I had just finished work. There was no possible way I accepted these documents as declaration of service claims. Sorry to give him the Kermit voice, by the way. I'm not that good at it. And lastly, Wonderstruck, who got a cease and desist all the way back on May 27th. Blair, aka Illuminaughtii, just sent me a cease and desist for speaking out against her abuse. I will not be silenced. Holy shit, that goes hard as fuck. She's handing these shits out like fucking candy, dude. She's just throwing them in all directions against all of her accusers. The community seems to be rallying around all of these people. I mean, the internet genuinely hates Illuminaughtii right now. There's no good way to come back from this. You're not going to be able to come back from this, lawsuit or not. Money's over on the internet. You're not going to make any more money on the internet. Why the suits? Why not just apologize and move on and just admit you're a bad person and made a lot of mistakes? So what do you guys think will come of it? I don't think anything, honestly. I think it's just going to keep going down this dark poop path. Blair's in hot water already. There's tons of videos being made on her. She's completely ruined her own reputation just with everything she's done, regardless of if any of the original things are true. I mean, just with the way she's reacted to all this, completely destroyed her own reputation. No one will ever respect her. You have a bunch of alleged vehicle theft. I don't know about that shit. There's mistreatment of employees, which is pretty broad, and it's a balance, right? Like, you employ people, especially in this world, it's like you got to be really careful. And obviously she wasn't, and it's so close to the public eye. This is just what happens. I hope the court is fair and realizes everything from each side and takes everything into consideration properly, and the court doesn't blatantly ignore the actual outpouring of support that these people have on the internet. Doesn't fall victim to the crocodile tears of Blair. To me, the defamation shit always seems like harassment
That's just there to annoy and scare people. And NDAs are cool for protecting art and assets and things like that, and ideas, things like that. But they're not to be used to prevent someone from saying something that happened that was bad to them. You can't do that. That's just not how it works. And quite frankly, from what I understand about NDAs, they have to be very specific. They have to be incredibly specific to hold up in court. And you can't just say, I'll be mean to these people and mistreat them, and the NDA, you're not allowed to say that ever. You cannot ever tell anyone that I mistreated you and that I was mean to you. That's not how NDAs work, unfortunately. There's no receipts. If there was receipts, maybe the situation would be different and there wouldn't be 50,000 fucking anti-Illuminati videos. But alas, here we are. Ain't a receipt in sight, motherfucker. Just a lot of bullying and cease and desists. Anyways, go subscribe to Mad Catster, my favorite YouTuber.